Hey, hi, and hello, friends. Welcome back to another video. Um, Today is going to be a lengthy one, but I'm also really excited to tell you guys about this new project I've been kind of obsessed over for the past month or so now. Um, so this is going to be a lot of character design. It's going to be a very character-centric video. I know the thumbnail might have been a bit clickbaity, but we're trying something out with the branding and marketing of the channel. So I'm hoping that more custom drawn thumbnails will do my analytics some good. So if that's sort of your thing, if you like what you see here, please make sure to like and subscribe. I'm just gonna put that at the beginning of the video because I always forget at the end. But yeah. So today's video, the basis of it all, is that we are going to be designing some essentially ice cream OCs, which I was really excited for. So yeah. So when I say ice cream, I really specifically mean like Neapolitan. So the idea that I had was that there are these three brothers, they are all triplets, and each one of them is going to be a single flavor. So we have vanilla, chocolate, and strawberry. And bonus points is the fact that they're all knights. So the fact that they're knights does tie into the whole story that I've already built around these three. Plus, there is a princess, but she is. I do have her all designed and stuff, but unfortunately, I lost some of the footage, so I'm just gonna have all of their ref sheets posted on my DeviantArt, linked in the description below. By the way, if you want to, see that after this video is up. Um, but yeah, so there are three brothers. They're knights, and so the first one we're working on here is this is our vanilla one. His name is Jin, and each of them have a candy weapon sort of assigned to them. I didn't want to give them all swords and shields because I don't know, that'd be a little bit too predictable. So each of them has each one of them have a custom weapon that's tied into their personality and fighting style, and also heavily based around the food. So that was really fun. I had a lot of fun um, designing those as well, like prop design, which I don't do a lot of. I really got to do more of that. So Jun here, he is the middle child, middle brother. He is very chill, very easygoing. Um, he isn't the leader. The leader's coming up next. But he is the most responsible, I would say, or at least steadfast. Is very level-headed. He doesn't have really much of a temper, and he's pretty calm in 99.9% of all situations. He does get emotional, but he tends to suppress his negative emotions quite a lot, unfortunately. But yeah, he's just very chill, kind of like a big brother vibe to pretty much anyone. He's very easy to make friends with, and yeah, no surprise there. But his favorite type of drink would be, I guess, a milk tea, with not necessarily boba, but a warm milk tea. I feel like is really more his vibe. So yeah, I'm realizing now, looking back at it, his design could be easily mistaken for white chocolate, with the way I think it's the way I colored his hair, or cinnamon rolls, I think. Um, which I guess it still fits because he's very much a cinnamon roll. But I feel like I'm okay with that. It still reads across as a lighter flavor, and I guess all those things could also be vanilla, like cinnamon rolls. Well, they're cinnamon, but I think it also could have heavy vanilla undertones. So I feel like even if he reads more as a cinnamon roll based character, it still works. As you can see, I have like all the references just on the board on my canvas as I work because I feel like that helps me. It helps keep me on track when I'm designing characters. I like to pull up at least 5 or 6 references and usually a color palette because I cannot come up with like original color palettes whatsoever. So I like to grab one from Pinterest just to kind of just keep me on track and keep the entire design cohesive. Oh, yeah, and another thing I actually did want to point out about his cape, because I did give them all like character specific like designs on the back of their capes, kind of like a not really an insignia, but just kind of like just representative of each of their like personalities and of course the food. It all ties back to the flavor, guys. It all comes together. But for Jun's cape, I was almost going for kind of like a cinnamon dusted. This really isn't helping the cinnamon roll allegations, but like kind of like cinnamon dusted on top, or maybe like powdered sugar if you looked at it in the reverse way. Because later I do give him a different type of weapon, kind of like a candy wafer or like a vanilla wafer stick, and his shield literally is a cinnamon roll. So for his cape, I kind of just faded it out to a brown, so it kind of like like on the top of those cappuccinos where they like dust some cocoa powder or cinnamon on top, and it's kind of like a faded brown to like a milky white. I always thought things was like really pretty, so I just kind of dusted the ends of his cape in it. It was going to be darker at the top at first, but then it blended in a bit too much with his pants. So I reversed it and moved it to the bottom instead. Here I was just kind of toying around with like reflecting the motif of his shield onto the cape as well. But later I just decided to give him like little cinnamon roll shoulder pads, which is probably my favorite aspect of his design now, and I adore it so much. Here we're moving on to the second brother. This is Shinji, and he is our chocolate knight. I think his design came together the quickest, for some reason. But yeah, okay. So Shinji, he is the eldest brother. Um, his flavor, I don't know, my brain just kind of froze up for a second. Yeah, he is the eldest. And personality wise, he is the most I don't want to say I stereotyped all of these guys, but I did just kind of pick like my favorite character dynamic archetypes and give it to each of them. So he is the serious one. He is very pragmatic. He's the one coming up with all the battle plans and strategies, and he has very good leadership skills. He's very reliable. So people, I mean, he is kind of intimidating, but people mostly listen to him because, well, he's very well respected. And so they follow his orders mostly out of trust and respect more than fear. Which is a theme I don't know if I'll play around with in the story later, but yeah, he's very confident in his leadership abilities. Um, and his dynamic with June is very cooperative. I feel like June would listen to his orders. He trusts his brother enough to like know to like follow his instinct. But Seiji will also be very open to Jun's advice if he like say has another perspective on a strategy he maybe didn't think of. He's very open to feedback, and he doesn't like completely shut down any and all suggestions. So his leadership skills are very healthy. Um, So he's not like a dictator or anything. He does look kind of scary, but he trust. He's a very cool guy. Um, so design wise, I mixed in a lot more like well, initially it was going to just kind of be melted chocolate, like that little wavy pattern that I put for his shoulder pad. I made it asymmetrical, but instead of going with like melted, like that drip pattern, is it like a? Yeah, it's kind of like a drip. So instead of going with that, I incorporated more waffle, like a very heavy on the waffle cone theming on his outfit. That was not intentional, but chocolate covered wafers are also very good. So I'm not mad at it. So yeah, as you can see for his cape, I initially went with a like squiggly melted drip pattern thing, but I changed that to like a faded waffle cone later, and it turned out really pretty, and I'm very happy with it. I'm really happy with all these designs, to be honest, because I mean it's sweets. It's sweets, guys. So yeah, honestly, his design came together the quickest, and I am kind of the most proud of it. I'm gonna be honest. And because I did this for June, I'm just gonna maybe make it the quirk for this video to give them all a favorite drink. So for Shinji, I feel like he looks like he's definitely a coffee guy. Um, Jun can't handle caffeine, but uh, Shinji literally lives off of it. So his favorite drink, I would say, is like either straight dark coffee, which I feel like would be a very generic answer. So for a fun answer, I would say it's like maybe a caramel coffee, um, or like anything with like a strong nutty flavor. I think he'd really like. Probably with like some madeleines on the side. Is that what you call those? Like those little seashell pastries? Like one of those? So yeah, I feel like anything with nuts, a strong nutty undertone, and anything very strong, yeah, he'd like. And now we're on to the last brother. So this is the youngest. This is Aito. He is, in a word, just rambunctious. He is very chaotic, a huge adrenaline junkie, and Shinji has several personal vendettas against this man for all of the pranks he's pulled on him. Okay, dynamics, because this is my favorite part of making OCs. His dynamic with Shinji is very, very rough, very rocky, very tense, and it's like one-sided banter. Because Aito is everything that Shinji is not. So they clash together they clash against each other almost constantly. And it's been that way since they were kids. So it's like very deep cuts. It's not like with any malicious intent, because he's definitely aware and conscious, and he never makes jokes that would like genuinely make anyone upset, but especially his older brother. But like little inside jokes or references to things that maybe is really embarrassing for Shinji, he will definitely bring up, whether in private, like amongst the three of them, or in public, depending. So he really knows how to get under his skin, and I feel like that's going to be a very fun dynamic to write, and I'm really excited to play with that some more. As for Jun, I feel like Jun cuddles Aito quite a lot, but not like a baby. He doesn't baby him quite as much. But I feel like he does try to like steer him away from all the chaos once in a while. He's very understanding towards him, a lot more patient than Shinji ever really could be. Because he has a very short fuse, whereas Jun is very patient and is almost like a mentor kind of figure to him. Not exactly fatherly, because they are very close in age, and plus they all have a father. Everyone's parents are alive in this story, guys. Okay, no tragic backstories, at least not yet. So they do have both their parents, but whenever they're away from home and on duty, um, June is usually the one that steps into that more mentorship kind of role for Aito and keeps him out of trouble, at least as much trouble as he can. Definitely keeps him on the straight and narrow as best as he can. Okay, so design wise for Aito, I didn't want to lean too far into like chocolate covered strawberry territory, like neither dark or light chocolate, because I feel like that would tie a bit too closely to his brothers. So instead, he's just like a plain like fresh strawberry. So there's a lot more greens. So the tips of his hair are green, and the end of his cape as well. I feel like that just adds a bit more color, like not only to his design as like a standalone outfit, but also when set up next to his brothers in a lineup. Because with all these designs, I not only had to make them work cohesively, like by themselves, but also next to each other, because they are going to be seen with and around each other almost constantly. They do work together as a unit, so I had to make their outfits reflect that. And it was also really fun, because I don't usually design OCs or characters in general and like as like a set like this. So it was really challenging and really good practice, and I had a lot of fun. And as like um, a special drink for him, I feel like a very Aito-esque type of drink would be like a mixed berry smoothie, or I don't know, something very tart. So maybe some with cranberries or raspberries. Anything that's red and a berry, because he likes to stay on theme. So yeah, I feel like a mixed berry smoothie would work with the seeds still in it. So yeah, very very robust, very loud, very make a statement e. Yeah, so that's a drink for him. And with that said, here are all three finished designs. As you can see, I did make quite a few tweaks, and I also designed some specialized weapons for each of them. So Jin has like this giant wafer stick, vanilla wafer stick. I, Aito. Well, Aito has like these strawberry nunchuck bomber things. I'm not exactly sure. He just kind of swings them around, and they does a lot of damage. And then Shinji has his fencing sword. So with that said, I want to thank you all for sticking around this long. If you enjoyed the video, please make sure to give it a like, and I will leave a link to all my socials down below where you can see some more of this little story I'm concepting and working on. If you like anything else here on my channel, please feel free to subscribe. And if you have any ideas for other videos you would like to see from me, leave a comment down below with a suggestion. I do read them all, and I will be sure to give them a go. And with that said, thank you so much for watching. Please make sure to hydrate and have a great rest of your day. Bye!